And what is going on, movie fans? Had to go on a little bit early today because I'm going to be live on the other two Giants channels tonight. I'll be on OGR Sports at about 7:30, and then I'll be on live with Bad Dog later tonight. But wanted to get some more content up on the movie page. We were supposed to go live yesterday. Had a couple of things pop up, but thank you to whoever popping in. Thank you for being here. Dire Giants fans in here. Of course, I got my brother Greg back on the channel. Greg, what's going on, man?
Good, things are going good. Always happy to be here. Talking movies.
Yeah, always love talking movies, man. What's going on, Woods? What's going on, Sports Expert? What's going on, Daniel Barry, Christoph Sports, Zingus in the chat. Jawad is in here, man. Jawad's one of my best, man. Afghanistan Crispy. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are always in all my streams. And MH gets it right out of the way. He gets it right out of the way. He says Scarface is overrated. We could jump into Scarface. You want to jump right into
Scarface is overrated?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I happen to agree with him.
Where's Scarface rated that we're saying it's overrated? If we're talking about gangster movies. Like, where does it fall there that you're saying it's overrated? Like, where do you think that the majority of people have Scarface fall that you're saying it's overrated?
Well, I think a lot of people, like you said, it's subjective. It depends on the person. But I think a lot of people, when they talk gangster movies, Scarface is at like the top of their list.
Okay, those people are wrong. You're right. That is not the case. But that doesn't make it an overrated movie. I don't think that the average person, when you ask them what the best gangster movie of all time is going to say Scarface. I don't think so.
I'm probably not, but for people that think that way, I actually agree with MH. Now, Scarface is definitely a very good movie. You know, there's tons of action. You got the drug element, everything else. Al Pacino could play any type of ethnicity. I'm fully confident that Al Pacino could play a black guy. He'd do it well. He goes from playing a Cuban drug cartel guy to an Italian. You know, he's unbelievable.
As good as Scarface is, I'm going to venture off and say that it is definitely, it's not in Al Pacino's top 3 gangster movies. I can tell you that. That's 100%.
Oh, you got The Godfather.
Both Godfather, 1 and 2, I put above it. I'm going to put The Irishman above Scarface, too. I'm going to put at least Al Pacino in The Irishman above Al Pacino and Scarface.
I'll tell you what, though. Al Pacino in Scarface was very good.
He's good, but he's not. When he played Hoffa in The Irishman, he was awesome. And Corleone is Al Pacino.
But talk about The Irishman. You know who impressed me the most in The Irishman? I thought it was De Niro.
I don't know. I know. What takes away from De Niro?
You know what? Though, Pesci played a different type of role than he normally does.
Yeah, but that's what was awesome about it.
Yeah.
But what takes away from De Niro in Irishman is that whole entire CGI, that de-aging thing. They used it on all 3 of them, but the one that I feel like the performance took a little bit of a hit from it was De Niro. When you see him at when they de-age him down to like 30, 40 years old.
I get what you're saying there, but that's not his acting, though.
No, it's not his acting. But I think Pacino honestly stole the movie. A lot of people say Pesci, but it's very rare to hear somebody say that they thought De Niro out of the 3 of them was the best in that movie.
I'm just a huge De Niro fan.
They were all great. De Niro was great in it too. I mean, they were all really exceptional. But I love Pacino's portrayal of Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, so we kind of both agree there on Scarface.
Anyway, back to Scarface. Yeah, back to Scarface. Scarface is great, though. Don't get it twisted. Scarface is an incredible movie. I would definitely not call it overrated. It's definitely not the elite gangster movie, but it's definitely, it's in the top 10 gangster movies. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's probably, I'd say it's in his top 10. Overall, it's probably in the top 10. Yeah. Like I said, good soundtrack as well. It's definitely a fun, energetic movie where, in the end, the bad guy gets what's coming to him, which happens in a lot of these gangster movies.
Yes, it does. Definitely, 100% does.
What's your favorite scene? It's got to be the finale.
Scarface?
Yeah.
No. Scarface's best scene is when, the scene where he goes, say goodnight to the bad guy, because you're never going to see a bad guy like this guy where he's in the restaurant, he's drunk and stuff.
Right.
So he goes to his wife, he goes, I want a little baby, but you can't even do that because your womb is so polluted. That's the best scene in Scarface, definitely.
I like the finale with the.
Finale's great. Say hello to my little friend. Obviously, I'm not hating on the finale, but it's not the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, but it's a very good movie. What's going on, D Rose? Thank you for being here. Wood says, I started watching Irishman, but I haven't finished it because it was really long. Yeah, The Irishman is definitely, it's like a 3.5 hour movie, and the thing with that though, and I'll say this, at least for me, that movie flew by.
I've literally watched The Irishman at least 10 times. I just watched it again right before we came on the show. I was watching The Irishman. I watched the first 2/3 of it.
That movie to me felt like it was a regular 2-hour movie.
Irishman was fantastic. Some people know it is with those. Irishman got some heat because people were expecting Goodfellas out of it, and I don't really understand what people were expecting with it because, like, at this point, De Niro, Pacino, Pesci, they're all so old. Like, you're not going to get another Goodfellas. But like the Goodfellas, Casino, they're kind of about like the prime of mobster life, like people in the prime of their lives, as opposed to The Irishman. I feel like is a lot more about death and the ending of their lives, and them realizing that everything they did was kind of a screw up because they're dying alone or they're dying however in jail, however the character's story ends. Irishman's definitely a deep movie.
Oh, for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed The Irishman. Godfather is 3 hours. Godfather's phenomenal.
Godfather 1 and 2. Those, that's the bar on which every other mob movie will forever be judged by. I mean,
everybody's got their own favorites. I personally, and you call me crazy, I personally like Casino. That's personally my
Casino. I don't know if I put it as number 1, but it's up there. I prefer Casino to Goodfellas. Although I think Goodfellas is probably the better movie, or the more rewatchable maybe. But I always like Casino. Great
Departed as well. I feel like Departed does not get enough credit when you talk about gangster movies. It won Best Picture. The cast in it's phenomenal. Mark Wahlberg, I thought was the best character in the entire movie. But
I like Alec Baldwin a lot in there too.
Alec Baldwin is hysterical.
They're all good though. Like DiCaprio's great, Matt Damon's great, Jack Nicholson. They're all awesome.
Jack Nicholson's incredible. But I mean, talking about The Godfather, I mean, I'll let you start with that. But I mean, of course, the first one, the character who stands out to me is Marlon Brando.
Well, yeah, I mean, that character in general, Vito Corleone, if you're talking Godfathers, Godfather 1 and 2, first one is played by Brando, second one, the younger version, was played by De Niro. Both of them won the Academy Award for it, both of them iconic performances. I mean, where do you start with The Godfather? It's this movie that's about these like massive topics about family and the mob and stuff, like these massive topics that like should almost be impossible to undertake and cover in a movie. And The Godfather 1 and 2 definitely covers everything it was trying to cover. Godfather 1 and 2 are just epic in every way. When you're watching that movie, you feel like you're part of the family. It's just the movies are great. Even like even the scenes with the hits in that, they're like pieces of art. Like that last scene with where the baby's getting christened and Michael Corleone's at the same time as his hitman out doing all killing everybody off and stuff. It's like the scene's filmed beautifully, and it's really just these mass murders going on at the same time as this guy's doing his kid's first communion or whatever. No, baptism rather. Yeah, baptism. And I mean, it's really some cold-hearted shit. But you're watching it and you're like, wow, this is incredible.
What was your favorite hit in the movie? What was your favorite hit?
The Godfather? I mean, probably. I mean, it's got to be the part where he walks in Little Italy and he kills the captain and whatever the other mob boss. His name I can't think of it off the top of my head. I should be able to, but I can't off the top of my head right now. But the scene where he walks in the bathroom, he grabs the gun, and he drops it.
Well, what about at the toll booth though? The toll booth.
Toll booth with Sonny getting killed. Yeah, that's some brutal shit. That they only filmed that one time because they wanted to use real squibs, and squibs back then they probably still do, but they're painful for them to go off. It's like a little explosion going off of your body. And James Caan had like 70 of them go off on his body, pretty much all at the same time. So they were only able to film that one time, and they also destroyed because that was filmed at Jones Beach.
I know that. I didn't know it was only filmed one time though.
Yeah, because he had to take all those squibs. You know how much that must have hurt? He unloaded like 10 Tommy guns into the guy.
Wow, I had no idea about that. That's cool.
And they destroyed the toll booth in real life. And now the toll booths that we drive through, when you drive down there, Jones Beach, those are the toll booths that they paid for to have rebuilt after destroying those.
Wow, that's an interesting fact. What's going on, Clocks? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. He says, I have a movie I know you never saw and based on the true story, Sean Penn, Ed Harris, and the amazing sicko Gary Oldman called The Westie. I've never heard of that one.
I've never seen that one. Not sure what that is.
Yeah, never heard of that one. Good cast. Gary Oldman's a great actor. Sean Penn's fantastic. I love Sean Penn. But yeah, never heard of that one. But yeah, I mean, getting back to the topic of the gangster movies, we were talking a little bit about Departed. We were talking a little bit about Casino. Goodfellas. We've done already a review on Goodfellas, and that's probably a lot of people's favorite as well.
I mean, it's definitely, you can definitely make an argument that's the best one. Scorsese's mob movies. That's what it is. When you're talking mob movies, you're talking The Godfather and Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what you're talking about. You got the Godfather movies, and then you skip to the Scorsese's almost. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a couple others in there that I love too, like Scarface, Oliver Stone. Uh,
We were talking about so many others too before that you don't even think about.
yeah, there's so many good gangster
American Gangster.
American Gangster's okay. I feel like American Gangster should have been a lot.
I
feel like it should have been a lot. I got when American Gangster got announced, I had the previews coming out and stuff. I was so amped for it. Like I thought that was going to be like an elite movie. That was when Russell Crowe was on his A game, Denzel was on his A game. It felt like the perfect time for these two guys to get together. I mean, they were together in Virtuosity, but let's not talk about that one. But yeah, when them two got together, and I was just amped. And then I mean, it was good, but definitely a little bit of a letdown, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because at the time, both those guys were A-list actors. You went into that movie with huge expectations, and it was good. It wasn't great. What's going on, Belly? We're going to get into Goodfellas and Casino. We love both of them. I personally prefer Casino. Tana, thoughts on the Italian Job? It's not really a mob movie. It just has Italian in the title. It's a heist movie.
Just has Italian in the title.
But it's a good, it's a good movie. It's not a mob movie, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, for sure. Chris, it came out same year as Goodfellas. All right, I'll have to look into it. I'll definitely have to look into it. I've never heard of that one.
The reason you probably never heard about it is because it came out the same year as Goodfellas, like the elite mob movie.
How would you guys rate your top 5? Okay. In no specific order, I'll just name my top 5 gangster movies. You got to have both Godfathers. They've got to be somewhere on your list. Casino's on there for me. I personally have Goodfellas on there. And after that, the fifth one, that fifth one's tough because you could go a lot of ways there. You could go Bronx Tale. You could go I'd probably go Bronx Tale, but there's so many good ones you could go with.
I'd put The Departed probably there.
Oh, you know what? Departed. I was thinking Italian.
The other four.
No, Departed is a lock for me as well. I completely forgot about The Departed. I was thinking about the Italian mob movies. Departed's got to be in the top 5.
Yeah,
I'd have it. I'd have Departed, The Two Godfathers, Casino, and Goodfellas. Those 5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the top 5.
There's some other ones that aren't like as big. I know we were talking to people last time we went on here about movies they should watch before this, and Road to Perdition is the one we talked about. Road to Perdition is like the most underrated mob movie of all time.
Road to Perdition, we were talking about when that movie came out.
2002? Yeah, 18 years ago now. That's how old we are. Can you remember? Oh my God, it's crazy.
It came out 18 years ago when I was working at the movie theater, and it stars Paul Newman. I think it's Paul Newman's last movie he ever made. And I know it was because in the movie they say in loving memory of Paul Newman at the end of it.
Are you sure about that one?
I'm almost positive it was Paul Newman.
Right. You could be right. I
think it was Paul Newman's last movie. But so basically, Tom Hanks plays the part of he's on the run. Jude Law is trying to kill him. It's just a great movie. I'm trying to remember the exact because he sees a killing, right? His kid sees the killing.
Yeah.
They kill Tom Hanks' family.
What happens? The kid, Tom Hanks has 2 sons. He's like the Irish mob's go-to hitman. They send him out on a hit. Kid sees the hit, and they go to kill. They want to kill. They want to kill they're trying to kill the whole family. They end up killing the wrong brother though, because he's home, and Tom Hanks' wife. And Tom Hanks, realizes they're gonna, if they stay there, they're dead. So they basically go on a run. They go to Chicago, and they basically start robbing banks from all famous mobsters all over the country in order to get Mr. Rooney, who's played by Paul Newman, to give up his son, who's pretty much responsible for Tom Hanks' family's death.
Yeah, they more or less play like the Robin Hood role, right? Where they're stealing from the rich to give to the poor. They're on the run.
There's so many good performances in that, though. It's Tom Hanks, Paul Newman, Jude Law, Daniel Craig, and they all play like these. They all play all the roles like perfectly.
The best scene in that movie to me is the scene where Tom Hanks just shoots everybody, but it goes completely silent.
Yeah, where he gets
the way they filmed that scene.
Yeah,
was awesome. It's like a torrential downpour, and you see Tom Hanks pull out the Tommy gun, and he's just blowing them all away, but you don't hear any. There's no sound. It's like it's in mute, and you see all these guys falling to the ground. That whole scene I thought was filmed really well. And then there was that famous scene with him and Paul Newman together.
Yeah, they go back and forth and dialogue. Yeah. Really. I mean, this is a Sam Mendes movie. This guy's freaking. The guy who made this movie, Sam Mendes, the guy's a freaking genius. The guy made this. He made American Beauty. He just made 1917 that came out last year.
1917 was awesome.
This guy knows how to make movies. Like he knows how to make good stories. He knows how to make them look really good too. American Beauty is no joke. Also, people want to forget about Kevin Spacey now, but American Beauty is a masterpiece. Also,
Once Upon a Time in America.
Once Upon a Time in America is one of those ones I'm not too familiar with. I've seen it a long time ago. It's so long. Although I just said I watched The Irishman 10 times, so really no justification behind it. But Once Upon a Time in America is 4 hours long.
How about Gangs of New York? I know you like that one.
Gangs of New York I like a lot. I don't know if I'd be considered a gangster movie, but Gangs of New York was good. It was like Martin Scorsese's comeback. He took a couple of years off before that. And it was also what's-his-face's comeback, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Butcher. And I mean, obviously that's a freaking awesome role.
But yeah, that was a great movie too. I wouldn't put it on the level personally of some of the other ones we've stated. But yeah, we talked a bit about Road to Perdition. And if you guys have not checked that out, the music's really good. The story's fantastic. I'm not going to ruin anything in terms of the ending in case you haven't seen it, but that is a movie we highly suggest that a lot of people probably haven't seen if you're into gangster movies.
Most underrated gangster movie, in my opinion.
I think it is too, because not a lot of people know about it.
It's funny too. Like when it came out, it got 4 stars. And it was made by. This is like the movie Sam Mendes, the guy was just talking, was pretty much coming off of American Beauty with, where he just won Best Picture 3 years before. I want to say 99, I think. And it's like this movie should have been massive.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Hanks
is in it. Paul Newman's in it. Daniel Craig on his way up. Jude Law on his way up. Like this movie should have been massive. I mean, I don't think it did bad in the box office. I think it did pretty good in the box office, but people don't remember it for some reason, which is really weird. Especially when you're talking about a genre like gangster movies. When you make a good gangster movie, it usually gets remembered. That's the type of thing here in the United States. People love gangster movies here.
Yeah. My Cousin Vinny, that's not a gangster movie, but it's hysterical. I mean,
actually, you know what? Road to Perdition cost $80 million to make and only made $104 million.
Wow.
Actually, that's in the U.S. Worldwide was 181, so I guess it did turn a profit. But you'd think it would have made more in the U.S. Only $104 million. It cost $80 million to make. That's really not that. I mean, when it's all said and done, obviously, when you get to the 181, that's worldwide gross. That definitely made something off of it. But off the USA, they didn't really make shit.
Yeah, and I think it's a great movie. I've seen it several times. Let's talk about The Departed. The cast in The Departed
could be arguably the best cast ever assembled.
I mean,
it's arguable.
You got DiCaprio, you've got Nicholson, you've got Wahlberg. Who else? Matt Damon. There's a number of others.
Anthony Anderson.
He had a really small role. Yeah, that's right. But there's so many great actors in that movie.
Yeah, The Part is loaded.
Yeah, start to finish, the movie's great. I love the way
Martin Sheen's in there too. Martin Sheen's also in there.
Martin Sheen, that's right. Yeah. And I love the way they end the movie with the rat.
The rat going across it. Yeah,
the rat going across at the end. But the whole movie's incredible, and there's so many unexpected scenes, where you're like, I can't believe they just killed that guy.
I gotta be honest, when DiCaprio gets it at the end, where he's in the elevator.
Nobody saw that coming.
When that happened, that would have been the most shocked I've ever been in any movie. Like that 1 second where that happened, I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah, nobody saw that coming. And I'm sorry if I'm ruining the movie for you guys, but most people have seen The Departed. It won Best Picture. So basically, Leonardo DiCaprio is the main character in this movie. Him and Matt Damon. And DiCaprio's the good guy. Damon's the bad guy. And they're kind of playing reverse roles. Like most people, if you're not watching the movie, the people from within the movie think that Matt Damon's a good guy, being that he's a police officer. And so DiCaprio, he thinks he's safe and sound. He's in the elevator. And you think this is like the last scene in the movie. You think the movie's getting ready to end shortly. And the elevator door opens up. And literally, the second the door opens up, he gets shot right in the head.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell just happened? And that to me was really cool the way they filmed that, and I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I mean, The Part is definitely one of the elite mob movies in my opinion. It's probably the most. Yeah, the 5 that we listed as our favorites. That's the most recent one too, and that's 14 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that movie's amazing. And then the famous scene where they're drinking they're at the bar and he's drinking the cranberry juice.
Oh yeah, we got your period.
Yeah, when you got your period. But that movie start to finish was one of my all-time favorite, not just gangster movies, just movies in general.
That's the one Scorsese finally, broke his losing streak and got the Academy Award for.
which is ridiculous. Like, how does Scorsese, of all directors, have to wait that long to win?
Yeah, it's crazy. If you look at the movies he made, you got Taxi Driver, Cape Fear's phenomenal. There's just so many with him. I mean, if you go back, there's got to be at least 10 movies you could argue they could have won for.
Yeah, but he definitely deserved it for that one. But yeah, that's definitely in my top 5. It might even be in my top 3. The Departed is awesome. Let's get into the Casino versus Goodfellas debate. Because Casino kind of, in a way, even though it's like lightly connected, is kind of a sequel to Goodfellas. It's the same cast.
Yeah,
different story, of course, but they came out, within 3 years of one another?
Yes.
Casino's even longer.
About 3. Oh, yeah, Goodfellas like 2.5 hours. Casino's like 3 hours, 10 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah.
They're both long, epic mob movies. Take place over long periods of time.
Yeah,
I think Casino's about some bigger subjects than Goodfellas. Goodfellas, at the end of the day, is not really about like extremely like high up mob guys or nothing like that. When you get over to Casino, you get involved with the people that like built Vegas and stuff like that.
What's going on, MY Giants? Thanks for popping the streamer, man. To me, Goodfellas was great. Don't get me wrong. And the first hour and a half of Goodfellas it hits the mark. But like we were talking about when we were talking about Goodfellas, it kind of, for me, lets down a little bit the last 40 minutes or so.
I wouldn't say it's like a letdown. It's more of like a come down almost. Like
come down.
The first 2/3 of the Goodfellas, you're riding such a high. It's like such a rush. You're getting like the Lufthansa heist. It's just all kinds of like crazy stuff that's happening when you're watching it, especially for the first time. You're like, it's like being high or something like that. It's like a huge rush, and then the end of the movie when everything starts crumbling, it's like, okay. I mean,
and I guess I just didn't like the way that, even though I know that it was lightly based on a true story, I don't like the way that it ended, how he ratted them out, and that's not the way I like to see my gangster movies end.
Yeah, that's my interpretation. I'd say Goodfellas and Casino though, pretty much on like the same level.
Oh, I mean, they're both fantastic.
I prefer Casino probably to that, but I mean, there's. Like, I might say I prefer Casino to Goodfellas, but at the same time, I'd say the more memorable scenes are from Goodfellas. Like, Goodfellas has got, the whole entire go get your shine box. I mean, Goodfellas is...
Okay, you say that? My favorite scene, not just in a gangster movie, one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever is from Casino. It's the blackjack scene.
The blackjack scene? What, where they zap the guy?
The blackjack scene with Joe Pesci.
Oh, with Joe Pesci. He's go, give this, stick this one.
Yeah. So Joe Pesci's sitting at the blackjack table, and he doesn't give a shit. Like, he literally, he's in a Vegas casino, and he keeps busting, and he keeps throwing the cards at the dealer's face. Take this stiff and shove it up your mother's ass. Take this stiff and shove it up your sister's ass.
What about earlier?
What? No, go ahead.
What about earlier in the movie when they talk about what's his name in that movie? It's Tommy's Nicky Santoro. When Nicky used to place bets with the bookies, he had two things could happen. One, he would win, or two, he would lose, and he's like he'd win and he'd collect, or he would lose and he'd still come to collect.
Right.
And he'd show up to the guy, and the guy's like, "I thought you were given." He goes, "No, I wasn't given. I was taken. I was definitely taken."
Right. Yeah, he didn't care. He was going to win no matter what. And
exactly.
In the end, obviously, he paid the price.
His death. That's like one of the most grueling things to watch. Pesci's death in Casino is like a brutal death, where they beat him with the bat, him and his brother with the bats, and they leave him breathing, and they bury him alive, whatever. Like
Pesci's death in Casino is the worst death I think I've ever experienced in a mob movie.
You know what's funny about it though? Like, you watch it, like we say, it's like, as much as they're not really connected, this is connected to Goodfellas. And Goodfellas and Casino, Pesci plays like the most vile, evil bastard in the whole world. And in Goodfellas, he kind of gets it really quick. You just see him get shot in the head really quick. You don't really see too much of it. So by the time you get to his death in Casino, you're talking about watching Joe Pesci play like 5 hours of like these like mass murderer, crazy bastard. And by the time you get to this scene, which is like probably the most graphic scene in both movies, by the time you get to that, it's kind of almost justified.
It's almost like you're relieved.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm thinking of other scenes in Casino that I love. How about when he puts his head in the vice?
Oh yeah, Charlie M. M.
You did that for Charlie M. Or how about
what about the part with the pen at the beginning where they're standing right after they tell Joe Pesci to watch De Niro's back, and they're standing in a bar, and a guy next to De Niro turns around. There's a pen on the table. De Niro asks him, goes, "Is this your pen?" The guy goes, "Yeah, you can take that pen and shove it up your ass, jackass." And then Pesci takes the pen and stabs him like 15 times, and the guy's crying. And Joe Pesci's like, "You hear that? You hear that little girl crying? Little girl crying?"
Yeah, Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci was definitely. I think Joe Pesci was even more brutal in that movie than Goodfellas.
It's funny too. They in Goodfellas, the guy that Frank Vincent, the guy who plays Billy Bats, gets your shine box out.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci kills him in that movie, and then when you get to the crazy death scene of Joe Pesci in Casino, they have Frank Vincent play the guy who beats him to death with the bat.
Right. Somebody in the chat
switch those back around.
Oh, Wood, you haven't seen Casino?
Oh man, you gotta step away.
Oh no, you got to see Casino. That's my favorite gangster movie. And I gotta have Fish Vegas on the channel, by the way, because I know that's his. We got to do a review with him one of these days. I'd love to have him on because he knows every line in that movie verbatim.
Casino has like one of those great openings too, where like the first time they get to the casino, they show the money like being processed in the back room and like all the coins and stuff shuffling in. They're like this is what Vegas is all about, for them to figure out a way to get your money. And they just show the money going through like, so like conveyor belt type thing of like how they like sort the money and stuff. And then it gets to the back room where like people are stealing it, which is another one of those great Scorsese shots. You want to see a great Scorsese shot? That scene, they show the guy with the briefcase. He gets out of the cab. They follow him with the camera. He walks the whole way through the casino into this back room where the money is. And Joe Pesci's narrating it. And he's like, yeah, everybody's in this back room, and everybody seems to always be looking the wrong way. God forbid they should interfere with each other trying to skim some money off the top. But great scene.
Oh, wait. We're talking about lines from Casino. Another line I'm thinking of, I say it all the time, and maybe not a lot of people think of this scene because it's not like a brutal scene, but you see De Niro, and De Niro basically is the guy that ends up taking over the casino. He's supposed to be this mobster, and now he's like the face.
He's actually not a mobster in that movie. He works for the mob. He's Jewish. He's Jewish.
Yeah. You Jew prick you. Yeah. But he's the face of the casino, and because he's working for the mob doesn't necessarily like that. They don't like attention, so on and so forth. But there's a scene in the movie where you see De Niro and Pesci. I think it was Pesci. I think it was Pesci with him. I can't remember. But they're sitting at the table, and he gets a blueberry muffin.
Oh yeah,
and so he's this type of guy that needs everything done perfectly. Like that's the type of guy that De Niro is. Everything's got to be perfect, whether it's the way the drinks are made, whether it's the type of
chips.
The way you stack the chips. He looks at every camera, every second of every day. And there's a scene where he gets a blueberry muffin, and he looks at the blueberry muffin. And he turns. Was it Pesci with him?
No, it's not Pesci. It's one of the guys from back home.
Well, whatever it was. And he goes. You can't do anything right in this casino if you don't do it yourself. And he looks at he looks at the muffin, and he walks into the back of the kitchen. And he goes up to the guy who makes the muffins, and he says, "I want an equal amount of blueberries in every single one of the muffins that you put out," because he had like 6 blueberries in his muffin. I just thought the way that scene was filmed, I was dying of laughter the first time I saw it. Because imagine. No, go ahead. You
know what else is really good in Casino that people like forget is in there is James Woods. James Woods plays Sharon Stone's like old junkie boyfriend, like pimp guy or whatever like that. It's not that big of a role, but James Woods plays it really good in that movie. It gets
James Woods was great.
Yeah, and Sharon Stone, we haven't talked about Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone, probably the hottest Sharon Stone's ever been. Is the first third of Casino before she's like a junkie, like loser or whatever, smoking.
Oh, Sharon Stone in that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought she should have been nominated. She played literally 2 different roles. Like you said, she was like a heartthrob at the beginning, and then drugs overtook her. Then she became greedy, and then obviously she was taking advantage of De Niro. Yeah, so on and so forth. But yeah, she might have been the best actor in the entire movie. She was great.
Yeah, movies. I definitely like Casino. Whoever said they hadn't seen it, get on it.
Yeah, you better go. You better go see Casino. Vidge asked us. He said, "What did Vidge say?"
American Gangster. Go. American Gangster. We already went through this. Overrated. It's good. It's got some really good scenes in it. That last scene with like Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe, they finally meet up. Some good dialogue in there. But overall, American Gangster drags like a bastard.
Yeah, American Gangster to me Vidge, is to me that was an underwhelming movie. I honestly thought it was going to be better, Greg. I really did. I thought it was going to be a better movie. It's definitely entertaining. It's good, whatever, but I thought it could have been a lot better. And I know it's based on a true story, so you could only fabricate the truth so much. But it kind of fell short for me. And I'm not saying they both did a great job. It's just I don't know. It left a little bit to be desired for me. American Gangster.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it was good, but I guess I was kind of comparing him to his character in Training Day, and it just wasn't even close to that. It wasn't even close to that. But it was definitely good. Definitely good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if my chat froze because this one seems to be ahead of the one on my phone. So you want to see a brutal Joe Pesci Home Alone 1 and 2, Afghanistan says. I mean, anything Joe Pesci does is great. That's obviously not a gangster movie, but it was definitely very good.
Joe Pesci, I love Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's like one of my favorite actors. I think Joe Pesci in The Irishman is amazing. Plays like the quiet, deadly guy. He plays Paul from Goodfellas in The Irishman.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was awesome. He was awesome in Home Alone. There's no doubt about it. The other thing I wanted, we've talked about Goodfellas. We talked a little bit about The Godfather. The Irishman we talked about. What other gangster movies? Well, Carlito's Way was great.
Oh, I love Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way was great.
Carlito's Way is probably as good as Scarface. Carlito's Way is fantastic.
I think it's better than Scarface.
I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely right there. I actually haven't seen Scarface in a while. I've seen Carlito's Way definitely more recently. I got to rewatch Scarface again.
Okay, we got a question from Jawad. I love Carlito's Way. He says, which modern day actor, analyze this is hysterical. All the different all the different nicknames. Jawad says, which modern day actor do you think would perfectly fit as a gangster today?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
But he's done it. He's done it already.
What?
Well, he was in The Departed.
Yeah, he plays a cop.
Oh, okay.
I guess. Okay, I guess he's saying just in the gangster movie.
I'm trying to think of maybe Tom Hardy. Could Tom Hardy maybe?
I like Tom Hardy. I feel like Tom Hardy kind of just did it. He just made that movie Capone. It sucked, but he just did it.
Yeah, Capone wasn't that good. I watched that. That wasn't that good.
Good in it. I think he played like an old crazy senile person really well. It just wasn't that good of a movie.
Yeah, I'd say I think Hardy's the first guy that popped into my head. I'm trying to think who else. Trying to think of fresh new actors, really. Yeah,
they could fall into that category. Like I don't see Jonah Hill pulling it off.
What about Bradley Cooper? Could you see him pulling it off?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say no, but I could see him pleasantly surprising me.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is this: we think of obviously De Niro, Pacino. You're never gonna match those guys, and that's why these movies are classics, and it's why I don't think we're gonna ever have gangster movies on that level again.
There'll be people say, I'm sure people were saying the same thing when Brando went down and stuff. Like there'll be somebody come up and replace it. The real people that are gonna be tough to replace aren't gonna be the
Scorsese too.
I was gonna say it's gonna be Scorsese. And Scorsese's not making movies anymore. That's gonna be the hard thing to replace.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever have movies in the gangster category that are ever measure up to the movies of the 80s and 90s, but I obviously hope so. Louis Black as Bugsy Siegel would be hilarious. Louis Black's definitely
had a good Bugsy Siegel movie already. What's his face played him? The guy who played Clyde in Bonnie and Clyde. Dick Tracy. I can't think of his name. Warren Beatty.
Oh, Warren Beatty, yeah.
Warren Beatty, whatever, yeah. They made it. That was a pretty good movie they made about him, Bugsy Siegel.
But what's going on, Taco, man? Thanks for popping in. Chris will replace the yeah, there you go. I'm going to be one of the gangsters. Bad Dog and myself and Greg. We'll be the three gangsters. Let's see what we got here. But Louis Black, he'd be funny. He's a stand-up comedian. He's been in movies before. He's definitely a very temperamental guy. I could see him going on a couple of funny rants.
I like Louis Black. I don't know if I see him pulling off Bugsy Siegel, but I like Louis Black.
He's been in some movies. I've seen him in some movies.
No, he's been in movies. I just don't know if he's gonna pull off Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy Siegel wasn't really that known for funniness, I don't think.
How about Brad Pitt? You think Brad Pitt could do it?
Brad Pitt made a movie recently called Killing Him Softly, which is kind of like a gangster movie. It wasn't that good. I don't know. Maybe Brad Pitt could. Brad Pitt's a really good actor. I'm sure he can.
He could do whatever.
Yeah,
I just you're not getting Pesci. You can't get Pesci. I don't know. Directors learn from those directors and adapt. Yeah, I mean, Vidge, but hopefully that's the case. hopefully that's the case. But I mean, you could say that, but look at the new Star Wars. They don't measure up to the classic ones of the 70s, 80s.
He's got a point there, Rich.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't learn. They didn't learn very well with that.
There's a reason that 60% of the best mob movies are made by the same person.
Well, it's everything that goes into it. It's the music. It's the way they film.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the camera angles. It's the narration. To me, the narration is a huge part of those movies. Goodfellas and Casino.
Oh yeah, I mean, same end of The Party too.
And how about the scene where they meet in the desert too, in Casino?
You Jewish prick! You go behind my back one more time, and fucking kill you.
He makes him drive all the way out to the desert. Let's see, Kevin Hart. Oh, Kevin Hart would be phenomenal. He's very imposing. He's like 4'7". I think he get it. It's not like Pesci was tall. Let's get Kevin Hart in one of these movies.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see what we got here. Untouchables.
Untouchables is great too. Untouchables is another one of those movies that kind of falls, in my opinion, with like the Untouchable. I put with like Scarface or Carlito's Way. It's not like the elite gangster movie. Untouchable is definitely good. It's very like inaccurate though. If you read up on the movie and stuff, like the way they portray a lot of the characters in that are like totally inaccurate. But Untouchable is definitely really good. Sean Connery, I know he was nominated. I think he might have even won that. And it was like one of the shortest. Like he's in contention for the shortest roles to ever win an award. I could be wrong on that, but
that I would like to look up. Is it Tom Cruise? It might be Tom Cruise.
Well, no. Well, I'm pretty sure Connery won for that though. I'd have to look.
Oh no, but Tom Cruise, the role he played in Tropic Thunder was pretty short.
Yeah, he didn't win for it though. But yeah, I think that's Tom Cruise's best role. I don't care what you say. I love that.
The role's great. The role's great. Let's see. Sopranos. Oh yeah, Chad. Not even close. Best gangster TV show. Sopranos.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, is there another really one?
I mean, well, no, yeah. You had whatchamacallit? You had the one with that Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah, it's right. Well, Boardwalk's right there with Sopranos. The Sopranos.
Ray Donovan kind of.
Sopranos did it first. I was right. Sean Connery thing is he did one for it. But yeah, Sopranos. I watched Sopranos. I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I know The Sopranos way better than Viginos, The Sopranos, who's in here. But yeah, I've probably seen The Sopranos like 4 or 5 times straight through at least. The thing about Sopranos is that the first season of Sopranos like as good as you get. Like the first season of Sopranos could rival any other show, any season from any other show, but it never regains that magic. Like the first season of Sopranos is so much better than any other scene out of it.
Yeah, Sopranos. The thing with Sopranos is it was the first. It kind of put HBO on the map in terms of TV shows. Like they had TV shows before, but that was like the first like.
Yeah, that's definitely the first step to where we're at today.
Yeah, I think like Sex and the City might have been before it, but I just feel like Sopranos was just on another level, and it was like the first show that you really just couldn't wait till it was on TV in terms of a cable network television show. And HBO, I remember growing up as a kid. HBO, everybody had it just for the movies. Nobody cared about the TV shows. I remember you had Arliss. You had what else? You had Sex and the City, like I said. You had there was a couple of others that I can't remember, but there was nothing like The Sopranos, and The Sopranos kind of paved the way for Game of Thrones and stuff like that were on HBO. So in that essence, I mean, it's not just the best gangster show; it's one of the greatest TV shows ever. Is The Sopranos.
Yeah, I love Sopranos.
Yeah, gabagool. Chad said, yeah.
Get the gabagool.
Yeah, the scene with De Niro as Capone with the baseball bat was great. Jay Brown said,
obviously. Yeah. I mean,
anything with a baseball bat involving De Niro or Pesci is usually great. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. But yeah, what's the? Oh, of course, the scene, wasn't there a scene? What's the scene with the baseball bat? Oh no, that's a shovel where he gets hit with the shovel.
In what?
In a casino, he gets hit with the shovel, right?
Hit with the shovel.
Pesci.
What? When he gets killed?
Yeah, doesn't he get hit with a shovel?
Baseball bats in that one. That's when baseball bats.
They hit him with the baseball bat, and then they bury him with the shovel.
Bury him alive.
Yeah. That's right. And that was such a brutal death. How he's got to watch his brother.
Yeah. His brother gets beat to death too, and then, it's definitely one. But like I said, he's sort of coming off this character who's done like all this messed up stuff in that movie. That it's kind of justified.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. You're right. They made Looper. Rich, you gonna bring me back to Looper? It's like basically when Greg and me do a podcast, it's like we're in the movie Looper. We keep looping back to the same argument. And Vidge, man, I'm not a fan. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not a huge fan.
Vidge doesn't like it neither.
Just listening to those deaths. So yeah, the death, it's beyond graphic, but it's beautiful. It's great. It's great cinema. Sabrina, you definitely got to watch it. King of New York, Christopher Walken was really good in King of New York. Forgot about that movie.
King of New York, fantastic. King of New York. Somebody sells a dime bag in the park. I want in.
Yeah. New Jack City was a pretty good gangster movie.
New Jack City is a good one.
There's just so many. It's
asking about Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints is really good. I don't know if that's necessarily a gangster movie. I mean, kind of. I don't know. They're like kind of like vigilantes almost in that movie, more than gangsters.
Yeah, I've seen Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints is very good. Yeah, it's a very good movie. I only saw Looper once. I'm on the fence about it. Dire Giants fan says
Looper is awesome. I'm gonna say it for the 50th time on here. Looper is awesome.
Okay, the concept is awesome. The concept was incredible. When I heard about the
execution of the movie is awesome.
What's awesome about the execution?
The idea
they're on a farm for half the movie.
I mean, if you're saying that the last half hour of the movie takes place on a farm, yeah, it does. Yesterday, you were telling me that you thought Signs was a decent movie. That whole fucking movie takes place on a farm.
But at least there was alien involvement. Like I don't know. I was disappointed with Looper. I was. I thought it was gonna.
That's because you went into Looper expecting Mission Impossible or something.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. The guy was an interior decorator. He says.
Yeah, he was an interior decorator. The Sopranos.
He says it was a joke about the same director who made Last Jedi. That's right. The director from
Ryan Johnson.
Last Jedi also made Looper.
Just so you know, Ryan Johnson also made the third to last episode of Breaking Bad, which you love. Just throwing it out there.
Breaking Bad's phenomenal.
The best episode of Breaking Bad is made by Ryan Johnson.
Reservoir Dogs. There's a good one.
Oh, the dogs. Love the dogs.
Love the dogs.
Mr. Pink. Yeah, can't go wrong. Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is great. Reservoir Dogs is like.
Well, that was kind of his first big movie.
Tarantino's coming out. Yeah, he got the movie for Reservoir Dogs by selling the script for True Romance. But yeah, it was the beginning of Tarantino. That was just coming out. I mean, Reservoir Dogs is great. The whole movie takes place in one room, and hour and 40 minutes, you're hooked. With these guys, you're trying to figure out exactly what happened. Who's the cop here and there? Turns out the guy with the slug in his stomach is the cop.
Yeah. Oh, the movie's fantastic. Christoph Porzingis wants to know: do you love the strip clubs?
I absolutely hate strip clubs. I hate strip clubs.
Are we gonna get into a brief strip club talk?
To the point where you couldn't pay me to go into a strip club.
I'm with you. I personally.
It's like grimy. Girls are like chasing you. I know it is. I don't know. I used to be a big club person, and I had nights where I was in Vegas and stuff where you go out to a club one night, you'd be chasing girls, and then the next night you're at a strip club and these girls are chasing your money. And when you put both of those feelings back to back, you're just it becomes such a skeevy idea. I'm so good on strip clubs. I'm
with you on that. I think it's a waste of time and a waste of money. I'm with you on that. Let's see what we got here. And you could go through $300 in a strip club in 5 minutes. So it's definitely a place where you can
ask Vidge about that. Vidge knows all about it.
Jawad said the closest thing I've been to a strip club is in GTA. Well, you keep it that way. You don't want to be wasting your money. It's a waste of time. Let's see what we got here. Sexy Anna, did you like the video? I did not get to see it yet, Stealth. I'll definitely check it out when I can. I didn't get an opportunity to check out the video, but when I get an opportunity, I will check it out. Hopefully, like I was saying at the top of the video, we're going to be live for about another 20 minutes. I'm going to be. We just want to get some content up and some suggestions, hopefully from you guys, from some videos that you'd like to see. I'm going to try to get some videos up on the channel, hopefully starting tomorrow, the day after. Trying to think of some ideas, being that we're trying to get shorter videos. We know that a lot of people aren't going to want to watch hour-long podcasts. So we're trying to come up with some ideas, get some content up on the page. Starting tomorrow, we're going to do solo videos for now, just because the whole social distancing thing. And, but we'll definitely have some videos together, but we're going to try to get some content up on the page for you guys. Did you talk about Donnie Brasco?
I brought this up before we went on. Donnie Brasco is good. Donnie Brasco is another one of those non-elite, but very good gangster movies. Donnie Brasco is, forget about it. I mean,
Donnie Brasco's awesome.
Donnie Brasco's good. It's not an elite gangster movie, but it's really good.
It's kind of in the same category with Bronx Tale.
Yeah, something like that. Donnie Brasco was back when Johnny Depp still had a good career before he started making pirate movies. And,
it's great, but it's not an all-time great.
No. I mean, Al Pacino's good in it. It's not one of Al Pacino's best gangster movies, though. But, yeah, I definitely like Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
True story.
Let's see what we got here. Horror live. Oh, we'll do a horror live stream for sure. I'd love to see you guys talk about war movies. We could definitely do a live stream on war movies. We'll definitely do some stuff. We'll mix it up. We'll mix and match. Like I said, I want to get some video content up as well. So I got to figure that out. I got to think of some ideas. I might do some quizzes. I might do that. We'll do some stuff. We'll do something. Belly says a friend at work gave me the box sets of the Breaking Bad, and they have been in my locker. What the hell are you waiting for, Belly?
You've never watched Breaking Bad, Belly? Yeah.
Whoa, get on that, my man.
That's the best show ever made.
Breaking Bad is the greatest show ever. And you got to push through like the first half of season one. Not push through, but it doesn't hit its real.
Breaking Bad gets better with every single episode,
except for the Fly episode.
Fly episode is one of my favorite episodes.
That is ridiculous.
Fly episode is incredible.
Okay, I don't know how many Breaking Bad fans we have in here. I don't know how many people have seen the show Breaking Bad, but how in the world? And I want to get your guys' opinion on this. If you do watch
this. Just said the Savage Boys just said Dexter is better than Breaking Bad. What?
Okay. What? Okay.
What?
For everybody that has seen Breaking Bad, and I love Breaking Bad, my favorite show of all time. What are your thoughts on the Fly episode? Because I thought it was the stupidest episode ever. There was it did nothing for the season. It really had.
It's the first time Walt talks about. Walt gets like he takes all the sleeping pills and he's like, or whatever. No, he's been up for like a couple of days and he's all tired and stuff. And then Jesse gives him pills to help him sleep. And it's the first time Walt comes out and talks to Jesse about Jane and how like Walt killed Jane. It's the first time he like starts to like allude to that. There's some like important shit that happens in the Fly episode.
Yeah, Glowing, I think it is. Glowing says Fly episode is my favorite episode.
Yeah, mine too.
How is that?
Maybe not. Okay. I like the third to last. The third to last episode's the best one.
But the whole, it's literally a fly. The whole.
I got something you could fill.
What? Let's see what we got here. Breaking Bad is so good. I like. Oh, Dexter's great.
First 4 seasons of Dexter were really good, and then once his wife dies at the end of the 4th season, after the Trinity Killer, it goes to shit. The last 4 seasons of Dexter aren't just bad; they're real like atrocious.
The 4th season of Dexter was the best one.
Awesome, yeah, the Trinity Killer,
John Lithgow.
Yeah, he was awesome.
John Lithgow was amazing as that serial killer. And I just love the storyline behind Dexter, a serial killer that kills serial killers. Yeah, after, like you said, season 4 kind of goes downhill. It's one of those shows that didn't know when to end.
Exactly. Showtime has a couple of those. Weeds was a really good show too.
I like Weeds. I've watched Weeds. It's good.
Yeah, Weeds is real awesome, but it's another one. It's like 8 seasons long, and after the 4th season, it's not nearly as good. Like I forget. There's like a kid, her son like hits the guy with the croquet mallet into the pool, and it was like great up until then. And then after that, it like really fell off. Weeds. There's a couple of shows like that. Too many shows.
Wood says the Fly episode is the one I can relate to the most. It seems like there's some people that hated it in the chat. Seems like there's some people that liked it. I thought it was unnecessary. Like
whoever said the Fly episode, the reason the Fly episode got made wasn't because they were trying to stretch it to 10 episodes. It's because they wanted one episode that season with just Walt and Jesse cooking. So they put that whole entire episode in there. They designed the episode around that idea. The episode's a great episode, though.
I don't know.
The best episode of Sopranos by far is the Pine Barrens. That's another one that kind of ventures off. It doesn't have any direct correlation to like the plot outside of that episode. The Pine Barrens with Christopher and Paulie got to go, the Russian guy in the middle of the woods. It's definitely the best Sopranos episode, but it has no bearing to season 3 of the Sopranos outside of that episode.
Fitz says facts. Rian Johnson directed Looper, The Last Jedi, The Fly episodes.
No, he didn't direct the Fly episode. He directed the 3rd to last episode of Breaking Bad. Osimosos or whatever. The best episode, hands down. Bitch. So get your shit right.
Glenn's on board with you. He says that you're right. He's a big fan. Thank you for checking out the live stream, Glenn. I appreciate it, man. Nate says, got to eat dinner, but I'll catch you later. I thank you for being here, Nate. Yeah, well, you had to do this a little earlier because I'm doing my Giants live streams tonight, but we're going to try to go live as much as we can on this channel. And like I said, get a lot more new video content up. Maybe we'll do a whole episode talking about the Fly episode. I'll rewatch it. We'll talk about the Fly episode. I think that's actually a good video topic because that is one of the most debated episodes, I think, in that show's history.
I love the Blood Fly episode.
What-
And I
what-
fight with people all the time. I mean, there's a lot of people agree with me, but I definitely fight with a decent amount also.
The other thing that pisses people off about that show that well, I don't want to ruin it for people that haven't seen it, but I won't ruin it for people that haven't seen it. He did I'll get Breaking Bad out of my locker when I go to work on Sunday. Yeah, you got to watch it, man. You've got to watch it. You will not be disappointed. Kristaps says, "Are you and Bad Dog doing the?" Yes, Kristaps. That'll be. I'm assuming it'll be on my channel because.
What are saying they're gonna get Breaking Bad out of their locker? Like, do you have Netflix?
OGR streams at 7:30. Yeah. If you have Netflix, Belly,
Breaking Bad's all on Netflix.
Yeah,
It'd
you should
probably
be
a lot easier if you don't gotta change your discs and stuff.
You might not have it. You might not have Netflix.
Well, if you don't got Netflix, then that's
but if you have Netflix, definitely. That's another show I got to watch, and I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. I have to watch Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is good. I didn't finish it. I got a couple seasons in. That's what. Yeah, I agree. I got to catch up to it. It's definitely really good.
Saul Goodman is the ultimate douchebag, and I love him. I love his character's amazing, and I know I'll like that show just for him alone. He is like he's such a piece of trash, but I love him. I definitely want to check out that show. I saw like the first 4 episodes, and I can't remember why I stopped watching it. It wasn't because I didn't like it. I liked it. Something came up. I think I started watching something else. That happens sometimes because it's kind of like online dating. There's way too many options. It's the same thing with shows on Netflix. You start watching a show, and then something else catches your eye, and you start watching it. But I'm trying to dedicate myself right now to House of Cards. I'm like 10 episodes in.
House Cards is good. House Cards really good.
Yeah.
You finished the first season?
I'm like at near the end of the first season. Near the end. But by the way, we've got to do a episode, like you said, on that Netflix show. I gotta watch the whole season 1, and then we're gonna talk about the Umbrella Academy. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, second season comes out in like 10 days now or something like that.
You should make videos about the movies that are insanely horrible, like Catwoman and John Travolta in the finale. Oh God, Don.
Honestly, I would love to come on here and talk about some bad movies. But when I say a bad movie, I mean like Armageddon. Like I got. You know what I want to do? Because at the end of the day, on YouTube, people, with live streams, people hang out because it's long and they could talk in the chat. But in terms of videos, people want something quick. They want 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. I want to start doing videos of. Well, I might do that. I might pick out the worst movies of all time, watch them, and then talk about it. The Happening is the worst movie of all time. I could talk about that movie. I don't know about that. I mean, it's bad, but the worst movie of all time. It's no Pacific Rim 2.
Watch The Happening again and tell me it's not the worst.
I know what it is. It's about the plants.
Yeah, it's about friggin' plants. People are jumping off of 30-story buildings because a tree told them to. Literally, somebody's planting tulips, and the tulips is the reason that people are killing themselves. It's the dumbest plot of all time. But I could talk about that movie for 24 hours. Let's see what we got here. The worst movie is... Oh, I watched Killer Sofa.
Oh, Killer Sofa. You're talking about a classic here.
I watched Killer Sofa. I was on the Fire Stick like a month ago, Greg, and I was bored.
I was
looking for a movie that was stupid. I'm like, let me find some, because once in a while you like to watch dumb movies. And I see the thumbnail for the movie. It's literally a sofa with like with a mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell could a movie called Killer Sofa be about? And that's what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, Killer Sofa is bad, but Attack of the Killer Donuts, that's a real bad one.
I never saw Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Attack of the Killer Donuts. It exists. It's out there.
Oh, and Practical Jokers is hysterical, Bavith. Impractical Jokers. It's a show.
Yeah, I know what Impractical Jokers is.
I've seen them twice live. They're awesome.
About it here. Somebody says the Blair Witch was crap. Yeah, Blair Witch isn't like a well-made movie, but when Blair Witch came out, that definitely took the right path for that type of movie. It was very smart for what it did, for saying it was real. And I mean, Blair Witch is one of the most successful movies in terms of percentages of all time.
Blair Witch was an incredibly success. It was the most, I think, at the time in terms of percentage.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not anymore. I don't think it might have been at the time though. Yeah,
they literally took a camcorder. The budget was like $8.
I think it cost like $40,000 to make.
They got a camcorder that they had to charge the battery every hour.
Yeah, You remember? I remember when Blair Witch. First of all, Blair Witch came out before the internet was like a thing. The internet existed, I suppose, back then, but it's not like it is
Well,
now.
there was no like YouTube. You know.
So like when they promoted this movie and they said like real footage, true story and stuff, like it's like everybody thought it was like real. Like especially for younger people like us when it came out. And Blair Witch came out late '90s, so we're both under 15, let's say. Probably about somewhere a little bit younger, maybe, or something like that. But yeah, everybody thought Blair Witch was like real.
But Veet says, Chris, who's your favorite Joker? Mine's Sal. How much have you watched that show, Greg?
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Impractical Jokers.
I'm not an Impractical Jokers fan. I know you love it.
How are you not an Impractical Jokers fan? But anyway, my favorite character. Okay, Veet. Sal is definitely the best to get punished. Whenever Sal gets punished, I die. Like the best punishment to Sal is the bingo. So basically, to describe it, there's a couple, but so basically when they challenge each other, they got to do things that nobody else would do, right? You know, silly stuff, whatever it may be. And at the end of every episode, you get punished. And Sal's punishment was to go to a casino. I think it was Foxwoods. He had to go to Foxwoods Casino, and they went into a bingo parlor. And it must have been 280-year-old women. It's a bunch of old women. And his punishment was he had to keep yelling that he got bingo. They're playing for money. And the first number they pull, he just stands up and says, bingo. And it was just hysterical. But Sal's definitely the best to get punished. Joe's my favorite. Joe is just relentless. He'll do anything. But I like all of them. I like Sal. I like Murr. I like Q. What's going on, Sports Influence? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Yeah, it was phenomenal, Die Hard Giants fan. Yeah, Joe is crazy. The stuff that Joe does is on another level. Let's see what we got here. Nah, Chris, where he was the delivery guy and he had to criticize every tip no matter what. Yes. Yes, that was a great punishment as well. Greg, that is a good idea. We could do reactions to watching Impractical Jokers, like some of the punishments.
I mean,
they're pretty hysterical. I love it. That's like I love that Pavith just brought that up. I love that show. Murr jumping out of the plane. Oh, Murr was great too. See, everybody loves Impractical Jokers. Yeah, I'll be in OGR stream, man. Let's see what we got here. Those older, the older ladies are definitely vicious when it comes to bingo. What's going on, Woggle, man? Thanks for being here, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you guys for popping in. I know it's a little bit earlier. If you guys are new to the channel, anybody that maybe watched it for the first time, like I said, we're gonna try to get a lot more video content up. We're gonna try to go live whenever, as much as we can. And yeah, man, me and my brother, we love just talking movies, talking about whatever. And Greg's doing a great job, man. So thanks, Greg, for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure. So what do these people want us to talk about next time?
Okay, yeah, let's get the suggestion now. Because last time you guys gave the suggestion of the mobster movie. Like I said, I'm going to think of some video content. I'm going to try to get some video content up tomorrow. But what live stream would you guys like next? Would you guys like, what theme would you guys like next? We've done Marvel, we've done Gangster, we've done sequels. So let us know.
We got sports movies, horror. I would love to do horror. But,
we got horror, sports, sci-fi.
I don't know if Chris can keep up with me in horror movies.
Horror. Jay says westerns. Horror. We got a lot of horrors. We got a lot of horrors here.
I love horror movies. Horror movies are my expertise.
All right, we're gonna do horror movies next. It looks like we got the most horrors. So we'll do some old school horrors. We'll do some new school horrors. We'll mix and match with the horror movies. I like that one.
All right, I'll do horror movies.
Yeah,
Vince was asking us to do horror movies too. I think yesterday he was texting me about it. I'll do it.
An hour of Christopher Walken. I can do 48 hours of Christopher Walken. Okay.
Jay Berman, if you're a Christopher Walken fan, have you seen True Romance? Best actor for one scene in the history of movies is Christopher Walken in True Romance.
And then he says, is there any good new horror movies? I mean, I don't know how new you're talking, Delano.
I thought that movie, I don't know, The Platform be considered horror. Did you see The Platform on Netflix?
No, I didn't see that.
Pretty cool. Platforms is pretty decent.
The Hunt. The Hunt was a horror, right?
Yeah, it's like a dark comedy horror. Yeah, I love The Hunt. The Hunt's made by Blumhouse, so yeah, I'm gonna throw it in horror movie selection.
The Hunt was awesome.
I love The Hunt. The Hunt was phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely check out The Hunt if you haven't, Delano. That was really good. Get Out, of course, is relatively new. That was good. Quiet Place, that's really good.
Quiet Place is awesome.
There's so many. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, horror movies, I feel like also making a comeback. But me, when you talk about horror movies with me, like I like bad horror movies too. Like I enjoy going to see a bad horror movie that's just fun. So like I could, the last couple of years, I've had a decent amount of horror movies. Like I liked Escape Room.
Escape Room was fun. I watched it.
I like Escape Room. It's like a stupid horror movie, but it's fun to watch. Like it's it's a cool concept. Like
you got Death Day.
I know it's the most underrated horror movies recently that you haven't seen them, but maybe you should watch them before next week. Is the Unfriended? Anybody here seen Unfriended? There's two of them.
Is that like the MySpace thing?
The whole movie's told through a Skype chat. Like what we're talking about. Awesome. Awesome. Not just good. Both of them are awesome.
Really?
Awesome. I went to see the first one in the movies. The first one probably came out now like 6 years ago. This was before Movie Pass or anything. It was just a day I was like, screw it, I'm going to go to the movies. I went to the mall. And I didn't have anything to go see. I just went. The only thing that was playing at the time I showed up was Unfriended. I was like, screw it, I'll go see it. And I was like the only person in the theater, and I was blown away by it. And then the second one came out, and I couldn't get anybody to go see it with me. I eventually got Will, the guy you just DJ with. I got him to go see it. We both walked out blown away. The second one's better than the first one. They're awesome. I'm telling you, check out Unfriended.
Get Out is great. Get Out was
awesome. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the fucking Woods.
Cabin in the Woods is not that good.
Yes, it is. Cabin in the Woods is phenomenal. It's
I gotta watch it again.
You gotta watch Cabin in the Woods from the perspective of the way it's supposed to be watched. It's a movie that explains other horror movies. It explains Freddy. It explains Hellraiser. It explains Evil Dead. It explains and puts these movies. It makes it so all these movies are in like the same realm.
I know what it did.
It's awesome. Such a cool idea.
Cool. Okay. This is where I think we differ on opinions. Because I think Looper was a cool idea. And that's a cool idea. You could have a really cool idea and still be a really shitty movie.
Yeah, you're right. They executed badly. But those two movies are prime examples of ways they were perfectly executed. Like, those are not the movies that have that argument with.
I don't know. I got to watch it again, I guess. Because you know what it is? I probably went in it with way too high of expectations because all I heard from the critics, all I heard from you, was how amazing Cabin in the Woods was.
Hilarious too. Cabin in the Woods is a very funny movie also. So it's like Get Out. Get Out's extremely funny.
I don't know. I gotta watch it again. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a classic. They've remade it 38 times, but it's a classic. Scream was good. I'll tell you what, Billy. I'll tell you what. When I first saw Scream, and I was young, it came out in what, 95?
Something maybe a little later than that. I'm gonna say Scream came out like
96, 97?
Something like that. Yeah, somewhere in there.
When I first saw Scream, I thought it was one of the coolest twists ever.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I never remember a movie before it where you had multiple killers. You know? Yeah. I thought it was such a brilliant idea. And then obviously movies copied it after the fact, but I thought Scream's twist was really good.
And Scream, I mean, even the sequels to Scream, I thought are decent. But put it this way, Scream 2, 3, and 4 are way better than Freddy 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I liked it. And obviously Saw. I mean, Saw is one of the greatest twists ever.
Saw invented what they call torture porn, where you go to see these movies where people are just brutally dismembered and stuff like. I love Saw. So I mean, we both like Saws. I like all the Saws. I can watch the bad Saws. I can watch over and repeat.
Oh, there you go. Bad Dog's in the chat. He had to correct me. He's a huge horror fan. He says Scream came out in 1996. What's going on, Bad Dog? Thanks for popping into the stream, man. I'm going to be live on Bad Dog's channel tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll be there for, I don't know, an hour and a half, whatever it may be. But Hostel's good. Hostel's good.
I like all three Hostels. Most people don't know there's a third Hostel. They're all good.
How about The Hills Have Eyes? I know it's brutal.
Good. Yeah,
I like The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes is a remake, too, from movie 7.
I know it was. And all right, let's talk about some older horror movies real quick that a lot of people maybe don't know that much about. One movie I really like. Jared made me watch it, and we both know Jared. He's a horror freak. The People Under the Stairs.
People Under the Stairs is awesome.
The People Under the Stairs is a movie not a lot of people know about.
This is really good.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big
Really
fan.
good.
I don't know what else to tell you guys. Go and check it out if you haven't done it. What's going on, MH? Purge is awesome.
The Purge concept of the Purge, I think, is really cool for a movie. See, there you go. You want to talk about a movie that had a really cool concept but was executed badly? The First Purge. The First Purge, I'm not a big fan of. The First Purge movie is a really cool concept, but it was executed badly. But then I think that in the future, like I think there's 4 of them. The second and the third are pretty good. The most recent one wasn't that good, though.
Yeah, we're naming all the Wes Craven movies. I mean, in fairness, Wes Craven's made about 1,000, so it's kind of hard not to name one of his movies. But
we'll talk about horror movie. I mean, now we're pretty much doing this podcast for next week. But The Thing is
The Thing.
My favorites.
The Thing is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I might have to watch that tonight.
The Thing is incredible. The Thing is like, you want to talk about movies that like bring out the feeling of suspense and anxiety to like the max. The Thing, it's like almost like Quiet Place. Has you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. What's going on, Blue Collar? Thanks for popping in the stream. Thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. Okay, here's one thing I'll say about Final Destination.
You loved Final Destinations when you were
I like Final Destination. You want to talk about a cool idea? That was a cool idea.
Yeah, original idea.
Original idea. Cool idea. Do not watch that movie when you're going to go on a plane. That's what I'll say about that. If you're gonna fly, it would be a really funny. Well, not funny. And people be terrified. But April 1st, if you get on a plane, they show that as the featured film.
That's like saying getting on a cruise ship and they're gonna be showing Titanic on loop.
Yeah. But a Quiet Place was awesome. Quiet Place is one of my favorite, not just horror movies. One of my favorite movies in the last 5 years.
Quiet Place is one of the most enjoyable movie theater experiences I've maybe ever had. When you saw Quiet Place in a movie theater with the loudspeakers and stuff, especially the way we saw it, we were the only ones in the whole theater. You had the whole theater to yourself, so there was no noise of people talking and stuff. Definitely one of the best movie theater experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, Us or Get Out. I got to go with Get Out, but Us was good.
Definitely, Us is good, but Get Out's the better.
Yeah. You guys need to watch some Italian. Yeah, I know. Bad Dog's big into the Italian horror movies.
What movie?
That I guess movies made in Italy.
The Cube? Somebody's talking about The Cube. Who's this? The Savage Boys. The Cube. Cube is awesome. Cube's what made Saw.
I never saw The Cube.
Cube's really good.
Cube
is good. It's like right before Saw, and that's definitely they kind of rip it off a little bit.
What's the No, never mind. We already talked about that movie. There's so many good horror movies. I'll have to think about it, but there are so many that I'm not thinking.
Unfriended this week, Chris. Telling you, Unfriended is really good.
Where do you guys rank horrors in all movie genres? That's a really tough question for me because, I mean, I'd probably put it above. Here's the thing with comedies. I know Bad Dog hates comedies. I love comedies, but the problem with comedies over the last decade, there's like a handful of good ones.
Yeah, they're not that good.
There's like no. Every comedy that comes out sucks. So. What?
I would agree. It should. Yes. Occasionally,
you get it, but the good ones came out 15, 20 years ago, and so I feel like comedies have kind of fallen off. Drama's always. I mean, drama you can't go wrong if you pick the right drama.
I think that I enjoy horror movies as much as I enjoy any of the genres. Me personally, like I love seeing a horror movie.
Horrors is in my top 3 or 4.
I don't know if it's I'm not gonna say it's the best. I mean, it's very hard to say that the average horror movie is as good as the average drama or average whatever. I mean, average sports movie. But in terms of enjoyment, I definitely get a lot of enjoyment out of horror movies.
Oh, they're great. Yeah. You turn it on, you get a thrill. It's fantastic.
I say I like horror movies. I mean, I love The Bride of Frankenstein. I love Poltergeist. I love The Exorcist. I love The Shot. Like you could pretty much go into any decade, going back to whatever 1940s, 1950s, and I could pick out 2 or 3 horror movies that I absolutely love.
Jay says, "Oh, Big Daddy was funny." Jay says, "Love Cheech and Chong." Where's Cushmaster?
I want to ask Cushmaster if he's ever watched Trailer Park Boys. Next time he's in.
Yeah, he's what. If there's a movie that has a joint in it, he's watched it. Yeah. If there's a movie where there's any kind of drug involvement, Cushmaster's watched it several times. Liar Liar's hysterical.
I don't know exactly how that gets into this conversation. But
they're talking about comedies now. They start to bring in the comedies. Let's see what we got here. Favorite sexy movies. Okay.
Cruel Intentions.
Cool. How about Wild Things? You got the lesbian scene.
Yeah, Wild Things actually has a lot of twists and turns too. Wild Things, I feel, yeah. It's
I only watched that scene. That's about it. When I watch that movie, I get to that scene, I just rewind the movie 3 minutes. But
a lot of Vaseline.
Denise Richards and Nev Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah, good scene. I thought it should have been nominated.
good scene.
I thought it should have been nominated for best scene that year.
Bill Murray's in that.
Bill Murray's
the guy at the end who's behind everything.
Yeah, Bill Murray's in that as well. Yes. My favorite sexy movie, Love Jones. I've never heard of Love Jones. What's Love Jones?
No, never heard of that one.
Okay. Vidge asked if Greg whistled.
You know what that's from? Can you tell me what movie that's from?
Did you? No, what is that from?
Vidge, come on, what's the name of it? When a Stranger Calls. What? The beginning of the movie, she's getting called. It's actually where Scream rips off the beginning of the movie with Drew Barrymore. They rip it off from that movie, the opening scene.
One thing I was gonna interesting. Well, it's not really interesting, but one fact about me: I cannot whistle. I can't do it. I can't whistle. I can't snap my fingers.
I can't snap your fingers.
Can't do it. It's something wrong with my fingers. I don't know. And I couldn't blow a bubble till I was about 18, but I figured that out. So there's some random facts about me. Let's see what we got here. I can't whistle or snap my. I'm with you, Jawad. I got the same problem as you, my man. What's going on, sports? Thank you to everybody for being here, by the way. You guys are fantastic. I know it's a little bit earlier. You guys still came in, still hung out with us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, we're going to try to get some cool video content up on the channel. And yeah, we're in the infancy of this channel. And, obviously we're hoping it's going to grow, and I think it will. And we appreciate you guys always coming by, hanging out with us, talking movies. And, we're going to end this in a couple minutes because I got to go live with OGR. But yeah, we're having a great time. Right, Greg?
Oh, I love this. Are you kidding me? I could do this all night.
By the way, Bad Dog does 24-hour streams twice a year. I think Greg could do a 24-hour movie stream.
I think I could do a 36-hour movie stream.
I think Greg could film himself watching movies and talking about the movies for 36 hours straight. As long as you had like ice cream in front of you. Right?
Are we allowed bathroom breaks?
Well, yeah, you get a bathroom break. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm busy today, Bad Dog. I'm busy today. And tomorrow. But I always love going on whenever I can. Italian kiss your bro through the screen. Show respect. But thank you to everybody. Benjamin's in the chat. What's going on, Benjamin? Guys, we're gonna end this now because I got to get ready for OGR Sports. But hopefully, some of you guys come on over there for that. I'm going on the Big Blue Courtroom. I don't know what he's gonna do to me. I don't know if he's gonna interrogate me. I don't know what's gonna happen. So hopefully, some of you guys come on by for that. But yeah, well, Greg, when do you want to go live again?
Yeah, Sunday night I could do it if you can.
We'll figure it out. If not Sunday, we'll do Monday maybe. But Sunday or Monday, we'll pop on here. We'll do something else. Look out for some videos on the channel. I plan to have a couple up within the next couple of days. Got to think of some ideas, but I'm gonna try to have a couple of videos up for you guys as well. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. We're gonna be going to. I'm gonna be going to OGRs. Greg's gonna go get some dinner or eat some ice cream or watch movies.
I want to watch Cuddle Bed.
What movie are you gonna watch? What movie are you gonna watch?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's got to be a horror movie at this point. I have to circle through my catalog of endless movies.
Greg's gonna watch a horror movie.
Probably a bad horror movie.
And I'm gonna go on with OGR. But Meat Man, thanks for popping in the stream. Jay, thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody. All right, so Bad Dog says, Greg, watch Zombie 1979.
I feel like I heard about this movie before, but I haven't seen it.
Go watch it.
Go watch that.
Yeah, watch it. Just type in OGR Sports, and that's where I'll be. OGR Sports. He's a Giants channel. That's where I'll be in about 15 minutes. Lucio Fulci directs it. He says, Lucio. I guess it's an Italian horror movie.
I'll have to look into this.
But you guys are awesome. Love you guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you guys soon. All
right,
guys,
have a good one.
He's going to get to his movie, guys. We'll talk soon.
See you guys later.